Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And in this video we are going to be talking about a client server network connection. Okay, the previous video we talked about peer-to-peer network connection. All right, so in this video we're just going to be talking about how to connect servers and then clients on a network. Okay, so please make sure you launch your Cisco packet tracer, because that is what we used for our peer-to-peer network connection in our previous video. Okay guys, before we continue, please go subscribe if you are new here. It is free. Okay, it's free to subscribe. All right, so everything is free to subscribe over here. All right, so guys, go subscribe. All right, and then like the video, comment if you have a question. All right. Okay, so we have launched our Cisco packet tracer. All right, so I said earlier this is an environment that's going to help us simulate network connections. Okay, all right, so in the previous video I talked about some of the features that we'll be using in this software. So let's go ahead and then start the connection. All right, so this is a client server network. All right, so what are some of the things that we will need? What are some of the requirements? Okay, so first we will need a server. All right, so now let's go straight down here to the network devices. Okay, click on the network device menu, come down here. You can see we have routers, we have switches, we have hubs, and then we have wireless devices, and then we have security. So we don't have server here. Okay, so let's come here and see we don't have server here. All right, so now let's go back to end devices. All right, so end device, so let's click on end device, come down here, click on this end device. Now move to the top of the side. You can see we have PC, we have laptop, we have server, and so on. All right, so I said we need a server. So the client server network, one of the requirements is the server. All right, so let's click on this server, take it to the environment, click on the environment, so we can see we have a server here. All right, so the next thing we will need is end user device, such as the PCs and then the laptops. Okay, so it's a client and a server. So now we have a server, now we need a client device. Okay, so now the client device is you and I, our devices. So the user device. Okay, so the user device, you will need a laptop. Okay, we might also need maybe a desktop or a PC. Okay, and then we will need a switch. Okay, so let's go back to the network device. Okay, and then come down here. This is router, this is switches. Okay, so click on switch, come to this side, and then click on this second switch here. Okay, so let's click on the environment, and then boom, this is our switch. Okay, so now we have the requirements, the main requirements to start our client server connection. Okay, so now what is another thing that we might need here? What is another requirement? Okay, so we might be thinking, how do we connect this thing? How do we connect it? And before we start the connection, we have to I have to verify something. All right, this is a LAN connection, so this is a client server LAN. I mean cables, Ethernet. Okay, this is not wireless. We'll talk about wireless later. All right, so this is the LAN, the client server LAN connection. All right, so we need connection cables. Okay, so let's go to connections, just like we did for the previous video. Zeus's Thunderbolt. Okay, then come here, click on the automatic here, so it's automatic Thunderbolt. Now let's start our connection. All right, so we connect from the PCs to the switch, connect, come here, connect again, PC to the switch. Okay, come back here, connect. Okay, from the server to the switch. Okay, so now we've done the LAN connection. Okay, so what next? So now let's go ahead and then give our server client IP addresses. Okay, so we have to give our client's IP address and then give our server an IP address. So let me just click on the server once. Okay, click on it once, come to configure. Okay, come to fast ethernet, the last one, the last option, click on that. Now inside the IP configuration here, IPv4 address, come and click in the box and then give a random IP address. So I'm just gonna give a basic class A IP address for simplicity's sake. Okay, so I'm gonna say let's say 90.1.0.1. okay, let me go ahead and copy this so that I can change it later. Okay, all right, so now I have given my server an IP address. So this is my server's IP address. Let me close this. Now the next thing I'll do here is give my end user my client IP addresses. Okay, so I'm just gonna open a device, come to configure, choose fast ethernet. Okay, do the same thing, come here, type an IP address. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to change the last one to, I'm going to just give it 2. Okay, so the server was 90.1.0.1. okay, but this is 90, so 90.1.0.2. okay, so I'm just going to close this, come to the next device, go to configure, come to fast ethernet, come here to IPv4 address, click here, and then change this to 3 because the other one was 2. Okay, now let's close this, or just this one will just configure. The subnet mask will just come on automatically. Okay, now let's close this. All right, so now you can see we are on the right track because our connections here, we have some green triangular some shapes on it. That means we are doing well. All right, so now let's test our connections. Okay, to do that, let's go ahead into the top here, see the message message icon here. You can just click on that once, come to a device, click on the device. So because we need a sender and then we need a receiver. All right, so I can say this laptop can be my sender or my source. Okay, and then this other laptop can be my receiver. Sorry, this other desktop can be my receiver. Okay, so let's just make it like that. I'm going to make this my source. Okay, and then this will be my receiver or my destination. Okay, so you can come down here, you can see that I have here successful. Okay, now I have here successful. Okay, so now let's test the connections. Okay, to do that, let's go straight to the right side, bottom side, look for simulation. Now click on that. You can see this pop up here. It's a simulation panel. Okay, now just click on the play button here. Let's click on the play button. Okay, click on the play button, and then you can see on the screen here in the environment, you can see the message moving from the source to the switch, now from the switch to the receiver, and now the receiver is sending back a message to the switch and sending the message back to the source. You can see that there is a green check mark on it. So you can see a green check mark. That means message has been delivered and message has been received. Okay, so this is basic way of this is a basic way of testing connection using the client server network. Okay, so now if I want to reset simulation, I just come here to, on the simulation panel, come here, you can see reset simulation. So I can just reset that, and then it will reset, and then I can start the simulation again. Okay, so I want to delete the message. I just come down here, okay, and then come delete this here, or I can just come straight here. You can see delete here in the panel, below simulation. You can see delete, so I can delete this. Okay, so double click on it, you will see it will delete the message. All right, so now let's say I want to test my connection from my server to my PCs. Okay, so to do that, come and click on the message, click on the source. So let me say the source is gonna be the server. Okay, so the server, and then the source is gonna be the receiving end is gonna be the PC here. Okay, so let's test this, let's test it out. Okay, so we still have our simulation panel. Let's go straight to the simulation panel and then hit the play button. Okay, so you can see the message from the server to the switch. Okay, and then from the switch to the two PCs. Okay, but when it gets to this PC, you can see that it says the message is not mine. The wrong means the message is not mine. Okay, it means the message ends mine. So you can see the green check mark here saying that okay, message delivered, message received. I got the message. Okay, but when it got to the laptop, you can see it had a red mark. That means the message is not mine. All right, so that is how we can test for simple client server network. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to test for the DNS of the client. Okay, so we are going to configure the DNS and then try and browse from another PC. Okay, all right, see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.